Hey, welcome to Tabletop Skirmish Games. I'm Lee, and in this video I'll show you how I painted the Kill Team combat gauges into the Imperial Fist colours. When the Octarius box set came out, I painted the combat gauges in this metallic effect, but this time for Into the Dark I wanted to do something a little bit different. So I thought it'd be fun to pick my favourite chapter at the moment, the Imperial Fist, and paint the gauges in their colour. In this quick video I'll show you the process I use, and hopefully this will inspire you to paint your combat gauges to match your favourite kill team or faction. Right, let's get started. So here's one of the combat gauges, and I've primed this in white, but the skull and the knife on the one side I primed in the black and the other side just in white, and no real reason I did that. I just thought it would be easier to paint, but you could just do it all in one colour. Then I took the layer white scar paint and I'm going to paint in all this large textures section in the middle. So I'm going to give that a few coats of this, and I'm doing about 2 or 3 coats until it's a nice solid white, and I'm just working my way. I've chose to do this colour first because it doesn't really matter if I make a mistake anywhere. So I'm getting right in the corners, and then I'm also going to go all around the edges, over the shapes as well, paying attention to that round one because that is going to be white at the end, but all along the edges of the gauge as well, and then all around the outside. Then I took the base paint Screamer Pink, and this is the colour I've used on the chest plates for my Imperial Fists, and I'm going to use that just to colour in these triangle shapes at the back of the skull there. So I'm going to give that, again, this will be 2 coats. That's all you need of this. I've watered it down a fair bit, and I'll just do 2 nice coats on each side. Then I took a base Abaddon Black and did the same thing, watered it down a little bit, and I'm going to paint over the knife and the skull, and then also pick out the triangle in black because that's going to be the colour it's going to be when it's finished. So we might as well do it all at the same stage. So taking my time, going through all the different shapes here, giving it a couple of coats. Then I took the Contrast Imperial Fist paint. Now this is the colour I've used when I airbrushed my Imperial Fist, and I want it to match them. But I think you would be better off using a base or a layer paint here, but I wanted that colour to match, so I'm going to do 2 or 3 coats of contrast paint until I'm happy with the solid colour it gives at the end. This isn't the ideal way using the contrast paint for this, but I do want it to match, so that's the only reason I'm doing it. So yeah, definitely use a layer or a base paint, I think, to get a better effect. But this worked for me. Next, I took a base paint Macragge Blue, and this is just going to be for the square. Again, a couple of coats, 2 or 3, water down a little bit until you get a nice solid colour. I'm always moving and turning this gauge around so I can get more control with my brush, and so get some nice neat lines then. Then when all that was dry, I took some shade Soul Blight Grey. I really like this shade, this new one. It's working out really nicely. Been using it a lot. And I'm using this to go over all the white section. It's just too bright at the moment, so I want to give it a bit of shadow, get in those recesses, show off that texture a little bit. Then I took some Cassandora Yellow shade, and this is just going to be dotted on these raised bits that go all the way around. And these are just showing the different measurements in inches. And just putting a little bit, just so they stand out a bit more. Then it's time for some highlights with some base Mechanica Standard Grey. I'm going to water this down and then just run a line all along all the black parts. So the knife, skull, taking my time, using the side of the brush where necessary, and just giving a nice straight line, as straight as I can get it anyway, all the way around, picking out all the different sections and giving them a nice highlight. That's going to just give it a bit more variety and, you know, bring out some of the character of the skull especially, and not make it just look like a plain black blob. Then I took some layer Pink Horror, and that's going to go over those triangles that I painted earlier. Again, just going around, putting lines around every single shape to give a nice highlight. And this makes a huge difference, so I'm really glad I took the time to do this extra stage. Then I took the layer White Scar paint and did some dry brushing, put some on my brush, worked it into some kitchen towel to get most of the paint off. And then I'm just going over all the raised areas to bring it to life, focusing a lot on those sections in the centre to give them more of that white colour, but still keeping the shade and the texture behind it. And that's it, that's all there is to it. I was really happy how it turned out. It's certainly very bright, but so are my Imperial fists. I mean, they just look crazy on the table. I think this is going to complement them really well. And you could certainly do this for any of your chapters. Something like Raven Guard going in black might be a bit plain, so mix it up a bit. Pick out those different colours from your models, and I think it'll work out really nicely for you. I've zoomed in a bit here just so you can see how scruffy my line work is. It certainly is not that great, but from a distance it works and it just brings it to life a bit more. And as you can see here, you can't tell that it's not perfect, those lines. And it works really cool when my Imperial Fist Sergeant is stood next to it. On the next gauge I've got, I'm going to go with my Astra Militarum theme. I'm going to do that, but I'd love to see an Orc one, so it'd be cool if other people have done this. I'd love to see it. But I did the other 6-inch gauge as well, as you can see here with the Redemptor Dreadnought holding it, so I went with the same colours, and so really happy with how this little set turned out. I think it's going to be fun to have it all customised. I've got the yellow dice, I've got the yellow box, I've even got a yellow measuring tape now, so why not have the yellow combat gauges too? Because I'll be handling this quite a lot, I am going to use a technical storm shield coat over all of it just to seal it in, so that might be something you want to do, or if you've got a spray on varnish, then that will do the job, and just protect that paintwork a little bit more. I hope you're having a great time with your Into the Dark box set if you bought it, and check out my unboxing video where I go through all the contents, so if you haven't got it but are interested in finding out more, that video might be really helpful for you. There is an issue with the terrain, so I've shown you how to fix that. I've also made some videos for how to build the Kroot Farstalkers, the different options for the operatives, the Navy breaches as well, and then I've got a video up already showing you how to paint the barricades. I'll be doing further videos reviewing the book Into the Dark that came in the box set, and I'm also going to do loads of painting videos for the terrain and the 2 kill teams. And if you haven't played the game already but want to check out the rules, then have a look at my How to Play series, which will take you through everything you need to know to start playing the game. If you're thinking about ordering the game or any other hobby products, then it'd be awesome if you checked out my sponsor Firestorm Games. I'll put a link to their website in the description below where you'll save up to 20% on all your hobby products, including Into the Dark, and they've been really cool, sent me a code to share with you so you can save an additional 5% off their price. So some great savings to be made there. You're also supporting the channel too, as I get a small commission from every sale. So thanks so much. It'd be awesome if you take a look at Firestorm Games. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope it gave you an idea about how you might like to paint your combat gauges for the new Kill Team Into the Dark box set. Thanks so much for watching. If you liked the video, please hit the like button, subscribe for more videos like this one, and don't forget to hit that notification bell too to join me here next time on Tabletop Skirmish Games. I'd like to say a huge thank you to my Patreon supporters who make these daily videos possible, and if you're interested in joining the community, it'd be awesome to see you there, and I'll put a link for that in the description down below.